Okay. Are we here? Yep, we're up. Alright. Hello, everybody. My name is Owen, and that you might already know. I do hope that everything's going well. Alright. Yeah, so. Hi. The stream should have just went live for you guys right about now. For some reason on my phone, I'm not seeing it as such. Oh, there we go. Okay, never mind. Awesome. Alright, so today we're going to be continuing our playthrough of Gone Home. I don't really know how, I don't know how long it'll take. It might take 30 minutes, might take an hour, it might take 2 hours, but we're going to have fun. So, yeah, we have it enabled, so let's get right into it. Hopefully this time I'll be a little quieter than last time, because last time I was all over the place. And, I'm sure you guys have no problem with that, but I would prefer that it's just a quiet little playthrough for a rather atmospheric game. So, yeah, just resume. And I hope the lack of a fan in the background, this, is good, because, I turned that off so that yeah, I think it was 1967. Here, let's try that. 1968, 1969. I forget what the combination is. Let's, I'm gonna check that out. Not that it really matters what's in there. 1963. Yeah, again, not that it really matters what's in here. It's, see, it's really nothing. There's a letter in here, but I think you can see why I'm not gonna read that. So, there's a bottle of hydrogen peroxide. There's Aquatil, or Aquatil for constipation. Oil of clove for, I don't know why. Syringes, syrettes, Byleron for not to be used when symptoms of appendicitis are present except on competent medical advice. Iron bile salts, McHenry. Not sure what the reason for that being there is, but cool. So, alright, I think we aren't missing anything right now. Let's see how we're doing in journals. Right, okay. Right, okay, so now we have to go into that extra area. Or not extra area, we have to go into the East Wing. Which isn't going to be too difficult, because we're already practically there. Let's play a journal just for fun. Let's play this one. This one's long.
They tell you to stick with the group on field trips, Katie. There's a reason for that. Lonnie and I snuck off on the side paths at Multnomah Falls and got a little lost. Okay, a lot lost. Like, for hours. Right before the bus left, we found a trail and came running down the path, soaked and covered in mud, shouting for the bus not to leave. The school called home. Mom and Dad said, "You didn't get into trouble like this before you met that Lonnie girl." But I don't think they know about us. The kids at school, though, I'm really afraid that's a whole other story. Stick with the group, Katie. Stick with the group.
I wanted to say that I had actually been watching a video about the game a little while ago, and somebody had read the actual electricity thing, and it said that basically there was no electrical problems, but lights would flicker randomly with no reason. So I just thought that was funny. Hey Lonnie, sorry my mom was such a bitch last night. She's hardly ever around since her force is like an hour away, and then when she is home, she takes it on you because you're not a member of the family. She knows you won't call her on it. I'm sorry. Ha ha ha. It's okay, I know she's just jealous of our cool and freewheeling lifestyles. I feel sorry for you. I'm lucky my mom lives in Florida. You have to have a mom every day. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring up the mom thing like that. I know I shouldn't complain. No, I'm being serious. My mom is a psycho Christian, and her new husband, Don, is a complete tool. Living in Florida with him is her eternal punishment in my mind. So you would rather live with your mom? You wouldn't rather live with your mom in Florida? No. Inside Edition documentary, 60 minutes. Investigative team visits camp whose specialists help adolescents overcome deviant behavior and homosexuality. Lovely.
Katie, you know how Mom and Dad are. Not exactly super open-minded about things. It feels like every minute I don't spend with Lonnie, I spend worrying about them finding out about us. And what would happen if they did? You know Dad's joke about the nunnery that he'd tell whenever he brought boys around the old house? I wonder where he'd want to send me.
The skull was the coolest thing I found in Mexico, and it was like $3 American. I love it. Merry Christmas, miss you, Lonnie. P.S. Treasure always. And Sam up there, written pretty cool. Which is this skull over here, of course. Ooh, what happens if we try to return the skull into the box? Let's just try that for fun, yeah? See, this. Just tossing it right to the side, whatever. Let's try it.
had an interesting talk with Mom and Dad tonight. One you were never gonna need to have. I mean, you've known, right? I've known. I've known since, like, She-Ra. Mom and Dad didn't, I guess. But they saw the zine and the stuff on the locker, and they were like, is there something we should know about you and Lonnie? And so here's the thing. I was prepared for them to be mad, or disappointed, or start crying, or something. But they were just in denial. You're too young to know what you want. You and Lonnie are just good friends. You just haven't met the right boy. It's a phase. That's what I didn't see coming. That they wouldn't even respect me enough to believe me. Well, joke's on them, because they're in for one very long phase.
Alright,
Daniel finally came over to get his game. I'd been dreading it. But he brought this story with him that I wrote when we were little. I started reading it, and then there I was, crying at the kitchen table. He asked what was wrong, and I was thinking about how we used to be friends, how much I'd taken for granted. But instead, I told him about school, and Dad, and Lonnie. And then how sorry I was that I wasn't his friend anymore. He gave me a hug and said it was going to be okay. And for some reason, I almost believed him.
sorry about that. My dad was in the process of leaving the house, so I just figured I'd turn off my mic so that there wasn't a bunch of background noise. Anyways, yeah, so we're about to get another journal that was out also in the garage, but for now...
Meow, meow. Meow, meow. Meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.
Yep, so there... there's the meow 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 meow. Yep. Alright. So, yeah. That's the secret diary for the game. Yeah. So, yeah, we have this one diary in the kitchen that we have to grab, and then I think we're almost home free. So... hold on. We're really in the garage, not in the kitchen, but, yeah.
I asked Lonnie what she had to do to get ready to ship out for basic training. She said, not a lot, really. You're not allowed to bring anything with you. You have no possessions, no contact with the outside world while you're in basic. You just train hard every day, and then you deploy from there. So, they'll just send her away. To who knows where. The other side of the country, the other side of the world. My mind, can't process it. She's really going to be gone. Just gone.
Yep. Anyways, here's a postcard. Oh shoot. Hi, Mom and Dad. I've had a wonderful time on the beaches of Barcelona. Dad and Sam, I think you would like the Gaudi architecture. It's from a strange alien world, or it is from a strange alien world. I am headed to my final destination, Amsterdam. For how long? That depends. I am running low on money. I will look for a cheap standby ticket and call you when I'm headed home. Sorry for the short notice. Can't wait to see you all again. It'll be good to be home. Love, Katie. Alright. And, in the developer commentary, the voice actor for Sam says that this one was the hardest one to record, so, get ready. Here we go. Booted Out. A going away show for Lonnie D, Girl Scout. Last show ever. $3. All ages. Saturday, June 3rd, The Tonic.
Lonnie had her going away show with her band tonight. She's so incredible on stage. When she was singing, I could practically forget everything. That we only had 48 hours left. That I don't know what comes next. And I can't live without her. Then she dedicated the last song to me. And I couldn't take it. I was out on the curb in the alley, sobbing till my ribs hurt. I would follow her anywhere, Katie. But I can't. Where she's going. After a long time, she found me. She said she was sorry. She said, I wish things could be different. I just wanted to make you happy. I said, I don't think you can anymore.
Vaccinate your children, friends. Sam. I wish I knew how to explain it better. The army is this thing I grew up with. It's part of me. My dad's army friends are like my family, or are like family. I've always known it was where I'd end up. I'd never thought of it any other way. I wish things could be different. Maybe someday, when I'm settled at a base, and you're done with college, and you're a famous writer, and I could rebuild a tank engine with my eyes closed, things will be different, and we can be together. Until then, L. Where we'll do it. Midnight, June 5th. Final preparations are complete. Under the stairs. Secret door.
We agreed our last night together would be our happiest ever, and we'd forget tomorrow was going to come at all. It worked for a while. We had a good time seeing Oscar off, then ran up to the attic to look through our photos, to find one for Lonnie to take with her. And looking at them, I realized they were all in the past, and there wouldn't be any more. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I cried. And she held me. She said she knew it was hard, but life would move on. I said I didn't want my life to keep moving without her. That's when she cried too. I was so exhausted. I must have fallen asleep like that, in her arms. In the morning, I woke up, and I was finally alone.
Now then, I'm going to tell you something in a later note, but for now, just got to keep moving forward. So yeah, they're going to say their farewells to Oscar. Or Mason. No, it's Oscar.
The sunset light in this house is the saddest thing I've ever seen. I just want to sleep. When I'm in the attic, it almost feels like Lonnie could still be here. She's just downstairs. I'm just waiting to hear her pull down the hatch and come running up. Maybe I'll go up to the attic and wait.
And then we're also going to be remembering our good old friend Christmas Duck. So, don't forget. Sam's dark room. Do not I can't read the sign now. Oh. Do not enter if red lights are on. Good old Christmas Duck. And now, right where he belongs. There you go, Christmas Duck. Good old Christmas Duck. Anyways. Sam, I'll always remember what we had. Stay strong. Kick ass. I love you, Lonnie. And then there's...
Oh my god. Katie. I fell asleep in the attic, in Lonnie and my old spot, and I missed the first 2 calls. I just barely caught the third one before the machine got it.
That's nice, strong.
It was Lonnie, on a payphone. She'd been on the bus to Basic, and she said she couldn't think of anything but me and us, and that she couldn't go through with it, with the army and being apart and all of it. And so she got off the bus in Salem. She said, "Sam, I want you to pack up everything you can and get in your car and come find me. And let's just drive until we find somewhere for us." And she asked me if I could do that. And I said yes. Yes.
Well, anyways, the thing that I wanted to show you was that, on the answering machine, the thing that I only actually just got recently, which I misunderstood for a long time. I thought that all of these messages were from Katie, but the first 2...
Sam. Sam. Hello? Sam! Sam, where are you? Really? I need to talk to you. Please be there.
So, yeah, the first two messages aren't from Katie, as I used to think a long time ago. They were from Lonnie, so that was Lonnie's voice. And if I had kept playing, you would have definitely heard a difference in the voices, which is why it was always kind of confusing whether or not it was Katie in the very beginning. The two different voices. Yeah. So now here we are in the dark room. Very nice photos, by the way, honestly. Cool. Awesome photo. And, this is a pretty neat photo. The rest are better, to be honest. Photo paper. Nothing. Thankfully, none are developing, because, I would have ruined so many photos. The red lights are on, too, so I disobeyed the rule. Where are all these dumb strings and crap? Are they for the lights? They're for the lights, aren't they? No, it's hanging up the photos. I see. Alright, well, yeah, I told you guys there wasn't really all that much left in the game. So, here we go.
Katie, I'm so sorry that I can't be there to see you in person, that I can't tell you all this myself. But I hope as you read this journal and you think back, that you'll understand why I had to do what I did. And that you won't be sad, and you won't hate me, and you'll just know that I am where I need to be. I love you so much, Katie. I'll see you again, someday. Love, Sam.
Alright, yeah, sorry, I just turned off the credits, but, yeah, so, I'm just gonna double check that we got all the journals, because I forgot to do that. Thank goodness I did. I was actually getting kind of worried, like, oh my gosh, did I get them all? I'm not sure anymore. I did, so, yeah, that's gone home. I'll let the credits play now. I just wanted to double check and make sure. So I'm sorry if that took you out at the moment, but yeah, now I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna let the microphone play because yeah.
Katie, I'm so sorry that I can't be there to see you in person, that I can't tell you all this myself. But I hope as you read this journal and you think back, that you'll understand why I had to do what I did. And that you won't be sad, and you won't hate me, and you'll just know that I am where I need to be. I love you so much, Katie. I'll see you again, someday. Love, Sam.
are welcome for playing. Oh. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, so that's gone home. Yeah, this is my second playthrough on my YouTube channel with commentary. I have played this recently, about a year ago, without commentary and getting all the journals. But yeah, I had a video up that was just from like 4 or 5 years ago. That was me playing the game, and it really sucked. So I unlisted it, and I decided just to make a new one. So yeah, again, that's gone home. So thank you for joining me. There is actually, like, you can play the game so quickly. There is an achievement for beating the game in less than a minute, and there's an achievement for beating the game with all diaries in less than 10 minutes. There we go. That's a little bit annoying. I don't know if I'll do a 1-minute run, because honestly, this is just already a bad run. But you can see, just like,
The sunset light in this house
yeah,
is the saddest thing
opening
I've
that
ever
straight
seen.
from the start. You have to get really close, though, which is the
I
only
just want to sleep.
unfortunate thing, because
When I'm in the attic, it almost feels
it
like
makes
Lonnie
everything
could still
kind of
be here.
difficult to.
She's just downstairs.
Oh man, I can't see. All
I'm
right,
just waiting to hear her pull down the hatch and come running up.
there we
Maybe
go.
I'll go up to the attic.
Let's see. Did I do it in a minute? I'll see if I got the achievement. I never did a 1-minute speed run on PlayStation, but let's see how well I did here. Let's see. Did I do it? I don't know if I did.
Katie, I'm so sorry that I can't be there to see you in person.
I don't think I did it,
That I can't
guys.
tell you all this myself. But I hope as you read this journal and you
No.
think back, that you'll understand why I had to do what I did.
Yeah, 1 minute
And that you won't be
with
sad.
no
And you won't
modifiers
hate me.
enabled. No, I
And
haven't
you'll
done
just
that.
know.
So, yeah. Yes, modifiers. No modifiers. Let's see. There should be a way to skip the... There we go. Yep. Alright. And no strafe walking can be used because that slows you down a whole lot. Yeah, it was really just this first little bit where it was just like... That screwed me up, and then I didn't grab the key immediately. I sort of looked around a little bit because I forgot
The
what I had to
sunset
grab to
light
get
in
the
this house
diary.
is the saddest
But I
thing
forgot
I've
that you
ever
don't have to
seen.
grab the diary, you just grab the key.
I just want to sleep.
Thankfully the smoke detectors are there
When
to
I'm
sort
in
of
the
guide
attic,
you
it almost feels
and make
like
sure that
Lonnie
you're
could
walking
still
down
be
the
here.
hallways normally.
She's just downstairs. I'm just waiting to hear her pull down the hatch
There
and
we
come
go.
running up.
Yep, I think I got a
Maybe I'll
good
go up to the attic
start on that.
and wait.
Yeah, so pretty much all the strafing that you're gonna do is just with your mouse. There we go. Let's see, did I do it? I think I did it.
Katie,
I don't think I did it.
I'm so sorry that I can't be
don't-
there to see you in person.
I don't know.
That I can't tell you all this myself. But I hope as you read this journal and you think back,
I
that
don't
you'll
think I did
understand
it,
why I
guys.
had to do what I did. And that
I
you
don't
won't
know.
be
Maybe I
sad.
just suck, but that's pretty
You
much
won't
how
hate
you do it.
And
So
you'll just know that I am where I need to be. I love you so much, Katie.
let's see.
I'll
Home
see you
runner.
again. Someday.
Let's see somebody. Here, let's see this guy try to
Love,
do it.
Sam.
Or, no, you guys can't see the overlays, but I'm trying to watch some guy play it right now. There we go. Just skipped it. Oh no, I got it. Home runner. Woo! And then yeah, there is an achievement for completing the game with all 24 journals, no modifiers in less than 10 minutes. I really don't know if I'll ever do that just because of how much memorization there is. But it'll be fun. Achievements. Oops. There we go. So yeah, there's 3 hidden achievements. Yeah, there's achievements. Let's see. There's Gone Home, completed the game. Intuitive, guess the combination to Oscar's safe before finding the code. So it's just, open the secret bookshelf in the guest room from the outside. Complete the game having found all 23 of Sam's journal entries. Returned Christmas Duck to his rightful place. Found Mitten's secret diary. Turn on every faucet in the house at once. I didn't know that was a thing. I guess I'll have to do that. Here, let's go do that. Then there's Home Runner, completed the game in less than 1 minute. Activated all commentary nodes and completed the game having found all 24 journal entries with no modifiers enabled in less than 10 minutes. I think if I hit resume, it'll just... anyways, here, let's do the Wet Bandit one. Let's just start with all the lights on. And we'll enable the commentary just so that we have something going on, rather than just boring. Not that it'll be boring, but, just so we have something more, rather than the occasional diary. Skip. So, yeah. Christmas Duck. Let's hear about Christmas Duck.
So, Christmas Duck. Christmas Duck, is a fan favorite. He's kind of a... Hi, I'm Steve Gaynor. I'm the co-founder...
No, let's hear about Christmas Duck. Screw that.
So, Christmas Duck. Christmas Duck, is a fan favorite. He's kind of a mascot, I guess, and I think that's partly because it's a weird concept, a Christmas duck, and partly because it's like the first unique thing that you encounter in the game. It's kind of personified. He's like a little character, but the thing is, Christmas Duck was not planned. When we were starting the project, we didn't have a 3D modeler because Kate came on a couple months after we started, and we needed a bunch of 3D models, and so I was just going through the Unity asset store. So I was going through the list and saw this Christmas duck, and I was like, "What is that?" Okay, well, and I grabbed it, and we used it as like a test object just to set up the system where you can grab stuff and carry it around. And then I ended up saying, "All right, we got this Christmas duck. I'll hide the key under it." And instead of replacing the free model with a totally different thing, just made a real version of it, and Carla modeled it, and Kate textured it, and we kept him in the game, and we're glad because he's everybody's little friend. Good old Christmas Duck.
Good old Christmas Duck. Yep, so, yeah, here's this.
Here we have Fresh Magazine, which is a synthesis and pastiche of Sassy Magazine, which if you haven't looked at it, or if it wasn't, something that you cared about in the early 90s, it was very feminist and, strongly individualist, and actually gave good advice. It was actually...
The life cycle of the condom.
That's not a real thing, Steve.
The life cycle of the condom.
All right.
By Carla Zamanja.
Is as follows. Initially, the condom was a separate plot point. It was an actual plot point. We gave it to... Yeah, I ended up being pretty happy with this. This is the only picture of Lonnie that we had for a really long time. And I was really glad to actually come...
Mom and Dad are... So these are stereoscopic? Yeah, these are stereograms.
Yeah,
that's the...
Stereogrammatic.
Yeah. Stereograms, popularized by the Magic Eye brand of images from, the 80s and 90s. These really work. Like, if you cross your eyes and you can do a Magic Eye image, you can see what's in these. Spoilers. They are...
Well, as I recall, there's a cool shark.
And?
I don't remember what the other one is.
Carla!
What?
It's a big heart.
I mean, one of the most comforting things in the world to me is having somebody, brush my hair or stroke my head. Like my mom, when I wasn't feeling well, I'd lie down in her lap, she would just brush my hair. It would always make me feel better, like the weirdest way. I couldn't figure out why, but it just seemed like this friendly connection.
Oh wait, do we have to turn
somebody
on the bathtubs too?
that-
Because I haven't been doing that. And let's flush
it
as
is,
well,
like she
just
says,
to...
it is strangely intimate in a way that I'd not really, I guess, put into words until reading that part of the script. Where that's what I was thinking of, was like that connection, that sort of human touch, that it's something so friendly.
A lot of Gone Home
Sorry.
is about pointless interactivity that is sort of things being interactive for the sake of them being interactive, but it really comes from our inspirations of immersive sims like System Shock and BioShock and Thief, where a big part of the design philosophy behind those games and Gone Home is that the world needs to be really internally consistent, and there's this feeling that if there's something that your character might do, you should be able to do it in the game. So in BioShock, for instance, you can flush all the toilets and you can turn on all of the faucets, and that's also true in like Deus Ex and Dishonored. Like, and sometimes, you know, like the water fountains in Deus Ex give you like 1 health or whatever, but really you can interact with them because there's this expectation of, if you could interact with that, if you encountered it in this world, we should let you do that, right? So you know, all of the faucets in our game can be turned on, and they can be turned on so that you can turn them on and you can flush all the toilets, and it extends into our philosophy behind you can pick up every plastic cup and toothbrush and Kleenex box, not because it's...
They tell you to stick.
Putback is the feature that I'm happiest with in the game. It actually came about as sort of a little bit of an accident. Playtesters had told us they didn't want to feel like some kind of horrible person rummaging around this house and tossing everything on the floor. But there wasn't really any other option initially. That's all you could do, was sort of try and lob things back into the place. So, you know, I had done some code before for placing turrets and things in other games where it, you know, will arbitrarily orient an object to be perpendicular to surface and all that sort of stuff. I told Steve that, you know, we'd have a lot of edge cases with that and it would take some time to implement, and temporarily I would just give him the ability to put objects that these things would kind of stick to in the game, and we tried that, and it worked so well that we decided to keep that, and that's where Putback came from.
Yahoo! Now I wish I had another diary, because I've been skipping all over the place with them, and now I don't have any direction.
There was a little bit of concern on my part before any of this got started that you never know how much liberty you're going to be given, and how much.
Oh, this one's fun.
So there's this little scrap of paper that's hidden under this bedside table, and you start to read it, and then Katie makes you stop reading it. And it was this thing where it's an exception to the interactive expectations that you have. Like, it's one place, I guess the one place where we really impinge on your ability as a player to do what you want, and Katie intervenes basically, and it was something that I thought was an interesting little one-off way of emphasizing the difference between the player and the character that they're playing as. And to you as a player, the note's just a note, but a reminder that, like, Sam is Katie's sister, and Katie wouldn't want to read this thing, and she's not going to keep doing it even if you want her to.
Anyways, I was saying, I'm dumb, I should have went this way. So that's the way I'm going now.
Fanzines, I mean, that's one of the things that we started doing right away, was doing these Riot Girl fanzines, and everyone would contribute and write, you know, an article for it, and then we'd compile it and make these Riot Girl fanzines, and we would mail them out to people. I mean, all this is so funny to talk about it before the internet, but you know, we used the mail, and people would write. You know, we had a PO box.
There's no
and
sync
we started
in here.
getting letters, because people would read in someone else's fanzine there's this Riot Girl thing that started happening, right? And it just, I mean, it was the most incredible thing. It just snowballed. People just,
I got it.
girls wanted to be a part of it
I got the
immediately across the country, right? So from the time we started Heavens to Betsy in 1991, I think it was only a year later, right? So 1 year of Riot Girl meetings and these letters happening and these fanzines happening. Well, a year later, we left on the Riot Girl tour, the Heavens to Betsy Bratmobile Riot Girl tour, from Olympia to DC. Well, for some reason, it took us like almost 5 weeks to get there on this tour. And we ended up staying in DC another something like 5 weeks before the Riot Girl convention that happened. So that all of this, all of these fanzines, all these girls across the country started getting interested in Riot Girl, and the press just went bananas. I mean, the press attention was off the hook. New York Times, USA Today, all these journalists wanted information and wanted to interview all of us. And it was crazy. So by the time we got to the Riot Girl convention, suddenly we were truly part of a movement.
Alright, the one I'm having a problem figuring out here is the one for this bookshelf here. So, this old house. Achievement repairs, inlet. Enter the guest bedroom located on the second floor, just down the hall. Open the side closet, turn on the light beside the closet, and locate a small button along the upper right corner of the closet ceiling. Aha! What? I had no idea about that! That's cool. Yeah.
Almost none of the events, the little events in the game, are scripted as far as like triggering when you do something specific. So all of the thunder and lightning and the creaky noises in the house, they're all just randomized on timers. The only like scripted thing is in the secret passageway. When you look at the crucifix, there's scripting that detects that you did that, and then it causes the light to pop.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Which is my one indulgence of like messing with the player. But we've had a lot of people play the game and say, oh, the way you scripted it so that right when I walked into the TV room there was that big thunder and lightning strike, like that was really spooky, or I walked through that one door and then you played that sound behind me, and it's like it's awesome that the combination of all the different kind of like significant actions you can do in the game,
Right.
like crossing into a new room or opening a door or this, that, or the other thing, and the randomization of stuff can make it seem like the random elements have extra significance to them, but in fact it's like you just got lucky, basically.
Yeah, it's total apophenia, because it's just because there's enough random things going on, and you can do enough things that eventually some of them are going to line up,
Yeah.
which is cool.
The fact that there are speedruns for our game makes me really happy, and the fact that that the any percent speedrun, aka you don't have to pick up anything, just get to the end as fast as possible, has basically been optimized to I think 47 or 48 seconds. Even just watching that speedrun is really fun because you see the player optimize. Like, for instance, the fastest speedruns, they don't turn on any lights because it would take a fraction of a second to turn towards the light switch and turn it on, and then turn back to the direction they wanted to go. And they just kind of like strafe past things and don't even change direction to move through the house. And then the 100% Diaries speedrun is even more interesting because players use that secret knowledge to play the game totally out of order based on a strategy for, okay, what's the most efficient way to go to these 24 points in the game.
Like spatially, so it's like this. It's the salesman, problem or something, where it has to go to all these different points, and what's the best way to do it? It's cool.
Yeah, and so seeing someone think about the house in a totally different way and a strategic way that is about this player created challenge that says, oh, okay, if I go into the basement first, then back out and into the east wing, then don't even go into the west wing until after, and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool to see that stuff evolve, and I'm really glad that we didn't make it so, for instance, you had to read the note about the secret door before you could even click on the secret door, because it would have shut down so many of those opportunities for people to play in interesting ways and express their mastery over the space that they've gained by playing the game.
Challenges.
If you enjoyed the game, please do get it. If you really enjoyed the game, I especially recommend doing a speed run, or not a speed run, just a run with the developer commentary on. You'll love it.
You want to talk about a place for Christmas Duck?
This is where Christmas Duck goes.
Oh, it's Christmas Duck's little house.
It's his little house. That's where he goes. He goes into it.
There was something that I always assumed would happen. I know that some people did do it because we got tweets, like on the day of release or whatever, of people referring to this.
Right.
But kind of based on the gnome in Half-Life 2, Episode 2, or whatever, and just a general, I think, instinct to take the first kind of personified thing that you encounter and
drag it around the house with you.
Yeah, try to take it to the end of the, take it all the way there with you or whatever. I knew that some people were going to take Christmas Duck all the way from the beginning of the game to the end of the game, and that we needed to pay that off somehow. I used the putback system that in almost all cases is just used to, okay, you pick up a Kleenex box and now you can put it back where you got it. But in reality, I can put one of those putback triggers anywhere in the game that I want. So there's one putback trigger for Christmas Duck where you initially pick him up, and then I put another putback trigger for Christmas Duck here. But yeah, if you bring Christmas Duck up here, you get Katie's interaction prompt that says, "There you go, Christmas Duck," and you put him back in his little nest, and he gets to go back to his home at the end of the game.
Good old Christmas Duck.
I think this is one where I love the way the music makes it so uplifting. Because it starts out in this very, sad point where it's sort of just like, you kind of don't know what, I don't know, to me it was very emotionally ambiguous in a sense. I mean, she's saying like, oh my God, I can't believe it, like something's happened, something's gone wrong. And as she kind of unravels the story about how she missed the first two calls, which then take you right back to one of the first things you probably do when you get in the house was find the voice recorder. So I love how it loops it around, and then it starts building this positive feeling of like how this isn't the end, and we are going to see each other again.
That's
and
some
there's
thick
this wonderful
paper.
elation that she sort of dawns on in a funny way, and that it's just it's so hopeful, and it's really nice to connect to that and just try and express a little bit of levity after so much weight has built up over the course of her life in this little window.
Oh man, mom handwriting. We went through a lot of different moms for handwriting. A lot of different moms contributed handwriting for a game. At first, let's see, what were we doing first? I think I just did it, and it wasn't great. And then we had Emily do it, but her handwriting was used so heavily in other parts of the game that we had to find someone else. And I think we actually had Yaman try to do it for a while before he was Dad's handwriting. And then we got Yaman's mom, and she was ideal for it. Really good mom handwriting. Yeah.
I was one of the hosts of the Idle Thumbs video game podcast for a year or two, and I go on there, and every once in a while those guys are my friends. And I didn't want to put Idle Thumbs references all over the game, but I did want to have Idle Thumbs references in the game, so we localized them entirely to this one piece of paper. So almost everything on here is an Idle Thumbs reference, and specifically to a weird exchange that we had about Will Wright's GDC talk in like 2008, where he didn't want everybody to show up and crowd the place, so he gave his speaker name as Phaedrus, and then did a talk about a bunch of crazy stuff, including the idea of rocket mail, which was going to be like done by it was pitched by the U.S. Postal Service in the 50s and stuff. So, and then the thing on the podcast was about how Phaedrus had a little brother, and so anyway, whatever. The brother, of course, it's a Phaedrus, and you can't hardly see the icon in the back because it's obscured, but there's this 50s rocket icon in the back that's like the logo of Phaedrus Motors. And then also it's the reference that Will Wright was making, and that is a secondary reference here because the motorcycle thing, is that in Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, the book, the author is having kind of an ongoing exchange with this character of from Greek history called Phaedrus, and motorcycles and blah blah blah. So it's a big knot of obnoxious references to lots of different stupid things.
I think we're going to do one more, and then we're just going to wrap it up here, because I really didn't intend for this to become like a developer commentary thing. I was honestly just going to wrap it up, but for now, let's do this.
Around here, you will find some of Sam's Super Nintendo cartridges that she left behind. Obviously, for legal reasons, we couldn't put real games in, and so we conscripted a few of our friends in the industry who are really talented artists to make cool label art for fake Nintendo games that we came up with.
It's so true. The first one was Super Spitfire, and that was by Rachel Norris, who is a cool artist. What is it? The NYU?
The NYU Game Center. She's done a bunch of like posters and other art for them.
And then the next one was Adventures the Cat Returns, which is it's sort of a.
It's a mascot platformer. Yeah. It's a Bubsy-esque toad having cat.
Oh yeah, but it's a regular cat. It's not a bobcat.
Yeah, it's a regular cat that rides a motorcycle towards an explosion.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lee Petty is the art director at Double Fine and worked on Brutal Legend, and I think he led up Stacking, and awesome. He was nice enough to spend some of his free time making the label for Adventures The Cat Returns.
Yeah, we ran into him at GDC, and he offered to help us out, and we were all like, cool.
We were like, oh, you didn't think we'd take you up on that offer, did you? Draw us a cat.
Yeah, he regretted the error of his ways. And then the third one is Journey of Crystal, which is sort of a JRPG beast, and that was done by Gen Z.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's the art director at Supergiant. She did pretty all of the art in Bastion,
cool.
And is working on Transistor. I know we had some people say that they could tell that it was her art because it has such a signature look,
it's pretty distinctive
to how she does things. So it was really cool and really exciting to have these really talented people from other studios that are inspirations to us contribute their unique art to the game.
One of the assets that I really liked creating in the game were these board games. So there's 3 in total of them throughout the house. Ideally there'd be more, but we had to focus on the getting the walls built and things like that. But I really like them. They're just a simple extruded cube. There's something about environment design that's really fun. This really goofy aspect of it, where you have to create fake brand names, you have to create fake toys and fake storefronts. Maybe my favorite is in the game Costume Quest, when you're going through the shopping mall, there's a store called Why Not Flip Flops, which always makes me really happy. But this one is a parody of Dream Phone, which is a awful game that came out in the early 90s, where you sit around a table with your girlfriends and you pick up this plastic pink phone and call these sexy boys, and you see which one likes you. It doesn't really suit Sam's personality exactly. But I figure maybe it was given to her by a well-intentioned relative who doesn't quite have her personality down. And maybe she played it once on a lark and then put it in the closet, and that's where it stays.